Hi YouTube and welcome back. Fantasy Hockey Event was just released by EA. Every single year, Fantasy Hockey Event is one of the most hyped events in the game. This year, every single team will receive a Fantasy Hockey card, so it means you can get a player from your favorite team. If you're watching this video, please make sure you like and subscribe because it helps the algorithm and more people see this video. I'm also live on Twitch, so make sure you follow me there as well. Today we'll go through every single card. Most of the cards are not usable at the moment. I will also explain how the cards work, can you get something for free, and in general, what is the best way to get yourself a Fantasy Hockey card for your NHL 24 team. For people who are new to NHL 24 and don't know how the Fantasy Hockey works, it's quite simple. +1 in overall by every goal the forward will score, +2 in overall by every goal the defenseman will score, and +1 in the overall for goaltender every single time his team wins or he have a shutout. This is only the first week of the event, so week 1 we have 5 MSPs and 12 regular cards from NHL and European leagues. If you pull any of these cards in the packs, you probably will not be able to use them because of how low in the overall they are. So make sure you put them somewhere in the set so you accidentally don't trade them in any collectibles or anything, because in the past there's a lot of people who made that mistake and traded in their Fantasy Hockey cards and lost them. The first MSP is Rasmussen team from Washington Capitals, left-handed defenseman, two-way defenseman, playmaking boost, tape to tape, and stick him up. Not a bad card, actually one of the cards you possibly could use at the beginning if you pull him or make him. Next one is Drew Doughty from LA Kings, right-handed defenseman with two-way defenseman and shooting boost synergies. Seeing Eye and Shutdown makes this card more valuable. Quite a big defenseman, probably Drew Doughty will score a few goals, so by just scoring one goal his card will automatically go up by 2, so it means he'll be at 80 overall. By scoring one more, it will be 82. So with defensemen, it's a big gamble, but I would probably suggest that Drew Doughty is quite safer bet compared to the Rasmus Sandin. Next one is Nick Suzuki from Montreal Canadiens. You can play him in a center when his card will go up a little bit in overall. He's also perfect on the wing. Playmaking forward and playmaking boost synergies with close quarters and born leader as zone ability. This card is already at 84 speed at 75 overall. Not bad at all. Nick Suzuki is also one of the cards I would probably say is a very safe bet because he will for sure score a lot of goals, and as far as he's staying healthy, the card will go up quite quickly. The next one is Trevor Zegras from Anaheim Ducks. You can play him in the center and also on the wing. I probably would play him on the wing. Playmaking forward and dangle boost as a synergies with it's tricky and skilled up as a zone ability. Probably one of the worst MSPs. As far as you're not Anaheim Ducks fan and or Trevor Zegras fan, I probably would not pick this card up. He for sure will score goals, but because of his size and his superstar and zone abilities, I don't think this card is worth actually having in the team. The next one, and in my opinion, one of the best MSPs in week 1, Thomas Hertl from San Jose Sharks. I probably would play him in a center as soon as his face-up goes up a little bit more because of his size. Make it snappy and unstoppable force make this card very, very usable. Even at 72 overall, he have a decent skating. So again, if you want to put him on your fourth line, there is nothing wrong with that, but probably I would keep him and wait while he scores few goals. Thomas Hertl is for sure scoring multiple goals this year as far as he stays healthy, so this card is also quite safe bet. A lot of people are not quite sure why exactly EA gave MSPs to the cards who already have an X-Factors. So technically every single time Fantasy Hockey card will go up, their X-Factor cards will also have the new tier where you can just use the power-up collectibles and upgrade that card. From the value point, it's much cheaper to upgrade X-Factor than get yourself a Fantasy Hockey card. So if you want to make Suzuki or Hertl or even Trevor Zegras, keep that in mind. We also have Alexis Lafreniere from New York Rangers, the only card I will really go after as a Rangers fan. His superstar ability makes this card usable. Hopefully Alexis Lafreniere scores at least 5 goals so I can actually put him in my team. We also have Alexei Afalov from Winnipeg Jets. Make it snappy, two-way forward and shooting boost as synergies. Lucas Raymond from Detroit Red Wings. Two-way forward and dangle boost as a synergies with puck on string as a superstar ability. 100% Lucas Raymond will score few goals, so this card is also very usable. Then we have players from Europe. Lino Marchini. If I pronounce your name wrong, I really apologize. He's a very, very, very small right-handed winger. So also the reason why he's so cheap. If you look at his stats actually online, this card will score a lot of goals. And I'm actually thinking this probably is the first 99 from Europe we will get if he's staying healthy. Then we have Pavel Zacha from Boston Bruins. Big rig is a superstar ability. Power forward and playmaking boost as a synergies. Not a bad card. Considering how big he is, he will be very useful if the card will go up overall. And we have Sean Durzi from Arizona Coyotes. Two-way defenseman, defensive boost. Decent card. 2 more goals and this card can actually go into the team. Next one is Bowen Byron from Avalanche. Two-way defenseman, acceleration boost. Very, very decent card. With wheels, it makes it card even more fun. This is a gamble. You don't really know who will score 75 overall at start. He needs to score at least 3 or 4 goals. Then we have Davson Mercer from New Jersey Devils. Close quarters as a superstar ability, sniper forward, and shooting boost as a synergies. Not a bad card. Again, 75 overall, so you really cannot use him at this point. Then we have Oliver Bong from London Knights. This card is actually very fun. Shutdown, two-way defenseman, and speed boost as a synergies. Also, not very expensive in the auction house. If you can snipe him, I have a good feeling that this card will score a few goals and maybe one of the most fun cards to use this year. Then we have a Vegas Golden Knight representative, Shea Theodore, left-handed defenseman, two-way defenseman with shooting boost. Another safe bet in my opinion, because considering he's scoring quite a lot of goals every single season, as far as he stays healthy, this card will be usable. The next one is Jonathan Dahlin from Sweden. Sniper forward, shooting boost as a synergies, snipe as a superstar ability. Even at this point, this card is quite usable. He have 82 speed, the shooting stats are about 80. Hands may be not the best, but if you put him in your forward line, then you can actually use him. Next one is Matty Beniers from Seattle Krakens. Two-way forward, shooting boost as a synergies with close quarters. Probably one of the safest bets this year, because I don't see any way Matty Beniers doesn't score at least 15 to 20 goals. And then we have our first goaltender, Carter Hart from Philadelphia Flyers. I probably would not suggest you invest in the goaltenders, even considering that he only needs 10 wins to get up to the 83, so you can put him in your net. I just think that goaltenders in general are not worth investing. Then we have Joona Ikonen from Finland, one of the smallest right-handed wingers we have this week. If you have a quick look on his stats, another guy who probably will go up quite quickly, his card is going below 200k. If you can snipe him from the auction house and just keep him, it will be a very good investment. A lot of people don't pay attention to the European players, so as soon as they pull them in the packs, they try to get rid of them. Next one is Justin Falk from St. Louis Blues. Technically, if he scores 6 goals, this card is already usable. Thunderclap as a superstar ability, defensive defenseman, and shooting boost as a synergies. His shooting and skating is not the best, but if he scores at least 5 to 6 goals, you can actually use him. Then we have Nicholas Robertson from AHL. Make it snappy as a superstar ability, sniper forward, and shooting boost as a synergies. If you're a Maple Leafs fan, I don't see a reason why you would not grab up this card. For everyone who played the game last year, you remember that EA was giving us a free fantasy hockey card by just completing objectives. Unfortunately, this year there is nothing for free. You can indeed complete the objectives and get yourself 24 collectibles. So all you have to do to get 24 fantasy collectibles is get pass completed with any players. This probably is the easiest one. You only have to do 200 passes and you will just get that eventually. Take shots with any prototype player items. So there is a second event. I will do a separate video about that later on. You need at least some players in your team to make those shots. Score goals with any prototype player. So basically you are earning fantasy hockey collectibles, but you need other event cards in your lineup. Doesn't really make sense, but I understand why they're doing it, because you cannot really get a fantasy players in your team to complete these because it's just very expensive. Then you need to complete 20 games in rival squad champs or with one of the more prototype items. I probably would get yourself a goalie for this objective and just put him as your backup. Then you need to complete 19 games. Then you need to complete 225 games. And again, same as previous years, the more players you put in your team, they stack. So technically, if you put yourself 10 players from the prototype event in your team, you would only need to play 2 games. Okay guys, now let's talk about how much it actually costs to get yourself a Week 1 MSP from Fantasy Hockey event or just a random card. If we go over to the Fantasy Hockey event set, it shows that we need 36 collectibles to complete one of the Fantasy Hockey MSPs for Week 1. Or you need 32 collectibles to get a random player choice 1 out of 3. I don't really like this one because technically, let's say if I want a Lafreniere, there is no any guarantees I can actually go and make him. I can make one of these sets, but there is so many players and the chances that I will get Lafreniere are very, very low. So I probably will just go and buy him instead of making it. If it's an MSP, I probably will go and make him. To make yourself a Fantasy Hockey collectibles, you need to trade in your players. For example, if you want to trade in 585 overall cards for 3 Fantasy collectibles, it would cost you 25k per collectible. 85s are currently going in the auction house around 15k. So in my opinion, this is probably the set I would like to avoid as far as you didn't have a chance to actually snipe a lot of 85 overall cards previously and to get ready for this event. Just to complete this set, you will need to spend around 75k. So to make an MSP with an 85 overall cards, it would cost you 900k. To make a random player, where you have to trade in 32 collectibles, would cost you 800k. This is the set I would probably suggest you guys avoid. The next one is, in my opinion, the best set to look at, where you have to trade in 584 overall cards for 2 collectibles. As you can see, the 84 overall cards in the auction house are currently going between 6,800 to 7,000 coins. So to complete one set, it would cost you around 34k. By completing that set, you would get yourself 2 collectibles, which means one collectible would cost you only 17k. With that being said, to complete one MSP with the 36 collectibles, you only would need 612k. This is probably the cheapest set you can make. If you want to go after a random, it would cost you 544k. If you want to go and trade in 583 overall collectibles and get yourself one fantasy card, it would cost you around 17.5k per collectible, because 83 overall cards are currently going in the auction house around 3,500 coins. So MSP would cost you 630k coins, or a random player would cost you 560k coins. If you decide to trade in 82 overall players for one collectible, you would need 15 cards. 82 overall is currently going in the auction house around 1,300 coins, so it means one collectible would cost you 19,500. If I need to choose where I want to spend my players and coins, I probably would go and choose 84 overall set, because the 17k for a collectible is very, very cheap. Okay guys, let's assume you completed your objectives and get yourself 24 collectibles. So it means to get an MSP from week 1 or week 2, you would only need 12 more collectibles. If you would go and spend coins in the auction house to buy yourself 84 overall players, you would only need to spend 204k to get yourself remaining 12 collectibles. By playing the game, a little bit working the auction house, you actually can get yourself 200k, maybe selling some players from the rewards. So by completing objectives and maybe saving some coins, those MSPs are not actually so unachievable. To be very honest, if you're a casual player, you probably cannot afford any of these cards. But in the same time, if you complete the rush, you will get some of the prototype cards which you can put in your team, so you can complete the objectives much quicker. So there is a way for you to get a fantasy hockey MSP card by just playing the game and spending a little bit of coins. It's not ideal, but this is the best possible option I can offer to you guys. That's it for today's video. A lot of people are saying that this is one of the most overhyped events in the game. I agree with it, because some of these cards will probably never be usable. Again, it's a gamble. You never know how the player will perform in the real life. Also, if he gets an injury, it's a waste of coins. I still like this event because it means I have to watch real life hockey. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one. See you on the ice.